Hello friends, Sentinel H here, and welcome back to our Applied Energistics tutorial series. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the security terminal, as well as the wireless terminal, which is a little doodad that might be helpful that you need the security terminal for. So, let's get into it, shall we? So, the security terminal, as it sounds by the name, adds a level of security to your ME network. And let's go into that just briefly. So, let's say you have an ME network here, and it's full of delicious cake. And this only matters if you're on a server, by the way. If you're in single player, you don't have to worry about this because there's no one else on there. But you have your AE system full of delicious cake, and you know that your neighbors over the hill or other players in the server, they're eyeing your cake and they really want to steal it. With a system like this, it's no problem for them to go ahead and steal your cake, because they can just use your terminal, go in there, grab your cake, and leave you high and dry, and no more cake for you. So you want to stop them from doing that. Well, to do that, you need the security terminal. But first, we got to make it. In order to make the security terminal, you need a 16K ME storage component, which actually needs 4K ME storage components to craft. We've only talked about the 1K ones for now. So let's go into these things. So to make a 4K storage component, you need to make 3 1K storage components. You need a piece of quartz glass, a calculation processor, and 4 pieces of redstone dust. And you get your 4K ME storage component. Go ahead and make 3 of those to make the 16K storage component, which requires 3 4Ks, a quartz glass, an engineering processor, and 4 glowstone dust. And I know, that doesn't really add up, does it? 3 4Ks equals 12, not 16, but roll with it. Once you have your 16K ME storage component, you can craft it into a security terminal by using an ME chest, the storage component, an engineering processor, 2 pieces of ME glass cable, and 4 iron ingots to get the ME security terminal. Now, the security terminal will not do anything on its own. You need to get some biometric cards. These are how you program the terminal with various permissions. So let's go into how to make those. They're very easy and very similar to those network cards that we used in the P2P video. You need an engineering processor, 2 iron ingots, 2 gold ingots, and a piece of redstone dust to make a biometric card. And you're going to need several of these biometric cards. You're going to need a biometric card for each. Well, you're going to need 1 card for everybody that you don't want in your system. And then you're going to need another card for each person that you want to actually give access. Now, we're going to talk about biometric cards later, because we're going to pull Shiva in here and we're going to demonstrate biometric cards. However, because he's not here right now, the first thing we're going to do is demonstrate the wireless terminal. So let's go ahead and craft it. So the wireless terminal does what it sounds like it does. It allows you to access your ME system without actually going to a physically connected terminal. So as long as you're within a certain range of your system, you can go ahead and access the inventory, which could be very, very useful. Now, it's kind of expensive, the wireless terminal, because to build it, you have to make a dense energy cell. This terminal can hold a lot of power. So the dense energy cell is crafted using 8 regular energy cells. So the dense energy cell is not cheap, but it holds a lot of power. You also need a calculation processor in order to slap these all together. So that gives you a dense energy cell, which can hold quite a lot of power. In order to craft the wireless terminal, you're going to need a wireless receiver. In order to make that, you need a Fluix pearl. Now, Fluix pearls are basically used for everything in Applied Energistics that has to do with wireless transmission. And they are crafted by taking an ender pearl and surrounding it with 4 Fluix crystals. They don't have to be pure. They can also be standard. And 4 Fluix dust. And that gives you a Fluix pearl. Then you can craft your wireless receiver by taking that... Why did it mess this up? Taking that Fluix pearl, putting it on top of a quartz fiber, and putting 3 iron ingots around the quartz fiber. That gives you a wireless receiver. Now you can go and craft the wireless terminal by slapping the receiver together with a dense energy cell on the bottom and an ME terminal in the middle. Alright, so you've got your wireless terminal. Well, in order to use it, if I right-click with it, it says device not linked. We have to link it to our ME system, and the way that we do that is by taking our security terminal and attaching it to our system. When the security terminal is active, you can tell because it has these nifty little bars on top. And we can go inside. Now let's talk about the GUI. So the security term, or terminal, has a couple different sections to it. This main section here is where you store the biometric cards, and there's no limit. You can store as many biometric cards in here as you want. Right here is where you actually edit your biometric cards, and down here is my inventory, just to make it easy. Over here on the left, we'll talk about the left first, is the sort order button. Essentially, if you get enough biometric cards in here to where you care about how they sort, you can sort them in differing directions based on number, I believe, or based on alphabetical. I have no idea. I don't have enough people to make enough cards. There's also a search box mode, where you can switch the search from an NEI synchronized auto search to an NEI synchronized standard search to an auto search, which I don't think I would ever need to use. And then you can also toggle different style of terminal. This actually used to do something earlier when I was hitting it. It basically makes more of these appear, but I like the small centered one because you don't need to see too many of these boxes. Now over here on the right, where it looks like a wireless terminal, that's exactly what it is. If we stick a wireless terminal in there, it will pair the terminal up to this system. You can know it says linked. The wireless terminal stores 1.5 million AE, and it needs a lot of power because of how it works. So, let's say I want to access my delicious cake, but I don't want to have to come to this terminal. Well, if I walk away from it, I can right-click. Oh, we're out of range. Of course we're out of range. I have actually forgotten a critical part necessary for this to work. The ME wireless access point. How could I be so silly? So in order to do this, you actually need an ME wireless access point, which is a block that you place on your ME network. That's silly of me to forget. It's crafted very simply. It needs as well a wireless receiver. It also needs a calculation processor and an ME glass cable, so it's actually cheaper than it's far cheaper than the wireless terminal itself. Now that I've actually crafted my wireless access point, I can slap it onto my system somewhere. It powers on, device online, and now I can use my wireless terminal and I can grab some cake and put it in my inventory. Fantastic! Now I can have cake no matter where I am. Well, almost no matter where I am. You'll notice that it's currently using up power rather rapidly. That's because the way the wireless terminal works is it uses up 1 AE per tick per block distance you are from an ME wireless access point. So if I stand right next to the wireless access point and go into it, you'll see it's using up less power. It's using 1 ME per tick, AE per tick. If I run over to here and just go really far away and just keep going and going and going and going really far away, I may go out of range of the wireless access point. Basically, one wireless access point will allow you to access your thing within roughly the building that it's in. However, we can right-click on the wireless access point, and we can actually make it more powerful. And again, this is something that I forgot about until just now. The way that you can make it more powerful, the wireless access point, and thereby extend the range of wireless access, are with wireless boosters. These wireless boosters can be crafted by taking a pure Sturtis quartz crystal, combining it with a fluix dust, an ender dust, and 3 iron ingots. And of course, ender dust is just grinding an ender pearl. When you have, I take these wireless boosters, say I want like 64 of these things, and I start slapping them into my wireless access point. For each one that I add, it seems to be adding a decent amount. Now, it seems to be adding an increasing amount, so it's probably not flat. It's probably like percentage based. But if I slap an entire thing in here, I can access it now up to 528 meters away. However, it's currently using 4.1 thousand AE per tick, or the equivalent of 8.21 thousand RF per tick. This access point is just using it. Now I've got a creative energy cell, so it really doesn't matter. But now I could go up to 500 blocks away. Stupid phone calls. I can go up to 500 blocks away. I'm not even 500 blocks away right now. And I can go in here and I can access it. No, it is going to drain the wireless terminal quite quickly, but I can access my cake from a much greater distance. So if you're interested in using your system wirelessly, you may need to pop a couple of boosters in there to fill up the radius of your system, of your building, but it is there. It is available. It's kind of neat if you just, have to have your cake as quickly as possible. In this next part here, I'll pull Shiva in here, and we will demonstrate these biometric cards. But there is one aspect of biometric cards I can demonstrate without a second person, and this is how do you lock everybody else but you out of your system. Basically, if you take a biometric card and you put it in here, a blank one, you can then click these buttons and add permissions to it. If you use a blank biometric card and stick it in the security terminal, it will apply these permissions for everyone who doesn't have their own biometric card in this little in the block. So if I take this blank biometric card, give it no permissions, and put it in here, then nobody will be able to do anything with my AE system as far as putting items in, taking them out, crafting things, modifying the physical structure and configuration of my network, or accessing security, other than me. Because the person who places the ME security terminal on a network, they are granted full admin rights, and you actually can't take away any of that person's rights. So I can't, if I take my biometric card and hold it in my hand, I can shift right click and it'll tag the card to me. Now this is Sentinel H's card. However, problem with this is that it won't let me put it in the system. That's because I already have all the permissions, and it won't let me remove them from myself. However, just by putting a blank biometric card in here, you can stop everybody but you from doing anything to your network. However, a very important aspect here is that this is only network security. This will not prevent people from tampering with your network in the physical world. This won't stop people from breaking cables or doing other unspeakable things to your ME network. So if you're on a server where that's not against the rules, like a PvP server or something, you're going to need to protect your stuff, using physical means other than this. But this will protect your system from people being able to steal items out of your ME system. So quite useful. In a bit, I'm going to now grab Shiva, and I'm going to be back, and we're going to demonstrate biometric cards and giving him various permissions. So stay tuned for that. All right, here we are with Shiva. Say hi, Shiva.
Hello.
And we're going to now demonstrate the usage of these biometric cards. So what item have you chosen to try and add into my system, Sheaves?
A stack of mycelium.
All right, so I'm going to go... Wait, can you use the terminal at the same time I'm using it? Okay, you use that terminal. I'll use my wireless terminal to look at it. And I want you... Okay, try putting your mycelium blocks into the system.
And... Nope, it's blocking me.
It won't let you. See, it won't let him because he's not... He doesn't have any permissions in the system, because what we did was we made a blank card that said no permissions for anyone other than me. Okay, so if we wanted to give Shiva some permissions, there are a couple of ways to do it. If you hold a biometric card in your hand, hold shift and right click, it will program it to you. So that's what Shiva's done with that card there. He programmed it to him. However, you can also hold one in your hand and right click it on somebody and program it to them. So here's Shiva's little card. It's a little card. It's got a little blue thingamabobber on it. And so that's Shiva's card.
Yeah. Yeah, strangely, mine has always the blue thing on it.
So if I go into the security terminal and I put Shiva's card into the editor, currently it has no permissions. We want to give him some permissions. So we're going to click on Deposit, which says user is allowed to store new items into storage. Then we're going to put it in here. So now, Sheaves, go ahead and try and put mycelium into the system.
Here you go.
And there it is. However, now, if he tries to take it back out,
nothing.
It won't let him take it back out because I didn't give him withdrawal permissions. So it's if I go back in and I give him withdrawal permissions. Do it now, okay? Go ahead. And he can take it back out, and he can take some cake, and because we gave him the permission to do so. Now there's a couple more permissions. There is the craft permission, which lets you initiate crafting jobs. Now we don't have a crafting setup on this, but you've seen what the other ones do. Trust me, it works. There's also build. User can modify the physical structure of the network. Now, does that mean that without that permission, it won't let you add blocks onto this thing?
I never really tried, but it's a quick try.
Yeah, try adding something. Try adding like
Let me just find a system.
something on here, because I know that this block does not protect the system from physical damage. Ooh, it pops back off. All right, so you see, if he doesn't have build permissions, it won't let him add stuff on. So he can't cheese my system.
And let's see about. And there's another thing we try here.
He can't cheese my... Oh, see, but that's the thing. This thing does not protect against removing stuff, but he can't put it back on. Okay, so let me give you the permission, the build permission, and now he can put that back.
And put in the cart.
Just remember, as you just saw, there's no way that you can use this block to make someone not able to break things on your ME system. So it's still in your best interest.
But it's a good way to keep. But it's a good way to keep people from actually coming up and somehow wirelessly hacking your system.
Yeah, it's a very good idea if you have a wireless access point, and if you're starting to if you want to give someone access to your network, it's a good idea to plop one of these down. So that's all of the settings except for security. So if I don't give Shiva security, if you come over here to the security terminal with a biometric card, try and program a biometric card. Try and put one in there.
I can't even open it.
You can't even open it. He can't even open the security terminal because he doesn't have permission. But if I click the security button, now he can go in there and he can edit security settings. However, he cannot alter my security permissions because I'm the one who placed the block. Even security admins can't go in and remove permissions from me.
Yep. That's
even
true.
if
I have a card from you, and
you can't even put it in there. So if you have someone that you really trust, or if you're working together with someone on a team and multiple people have the security permission, the person who placed the block is the ultimate admin, and their permissions can never be reduced. So that's pretty darn cool, isn't it, Sheaves? And the same thing goes for these wireless terminal cards. So if I go in here and I remove Shiva's withdraw ability, and I put it back in here, and I give him this wireless terminal, and he tries to take my cake, he can't take my cake. So if you have wireless terminals laying around, it's a... Oh, you took my cake. Did you already have that cake? Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
because no more cake came out. So if you have a wireless terminal crafted, it's probably a really good idea to make sure you put in this biometric card, the blank one, to get rid of permissions. Because if somebody gets their hands on that card, they could take all your stuff. So anyway...
Or all your cake.
All your cake. Yeah, look at all this cake. I love it. It's like a cake road. Anyway, thanks for helping us out, Sheaves. I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about the ME security terminal, except that just remember, people can break blocks in your system, so you definitely want to hide this thing. Because if Sheaves didn't have permissions, he could just come over here, break my security terminal, and then have full access.
Well, actually, if I were to break your security terminal, I can then just take everything.
Yeah, he can take it all. So...
See, there goes all the drywall.
Yep. So just remember that the security terminal, we can't iterate this enough. It will not protect your system from physical tampering, only from people adding things on. So you need to use some other form of security. Make maybe arcane blocks from Downcraft would be a good idea, since they can't be broken except by you. And
yeah, and the other thing people can do is place it back, put this in.
Yeah.
Now
you can't because they can lock you out of your own system.
Nope. Yeah.
So just be careful.
And they can actually have this thing hidden too,
Yeah.
so you can still have your same somewhere out where you know where it is, but they can break it and then replace another one of these somewhere else.
Make sure you have a security terminal. Make sure it's well hidden. Basically, be cautious. You need physical security as well as this is only network security. It's still very, very useful, especially if you have ME networks that are wirelessly connected over a distance, and we'll talk about that in a future video. So thanks a lot for helping demonstrate, Sheaves. All right, so stay tuned for future episodes. I'm Sentinel H, and I'm signing out.